So you've just hit your first $100,000. Will your net worth just suddenly start to explode? Well, not necessarily. The truth is, building your first $100,000 might give you the opportunity to exponentially grow your wealth, but only if you know how to actually use it. And that's why in this video, I'm going to share the three main strategies that you need to know to exponentially grow your wealth, especially if you're in Canada. Hey, my name is Michael Lee Kim, and I'm a personal finance coach, CPA, and TEDx speaker. And my goal is to help you learn how to use money to design a life you actually love. The first strategy to exponentially grow your net worth was famously called the eighth wonder of the world by Albert Einstein. And let me explain it like this. Imagine you're building a snowman. At first, rolling the tiny snowball is tough. You're down on your knees, hand freezing, pushing it inch by inch. But as the snowball grows, something magical happens. It starts picking up more snow on its own, and suddenly it's rolling faster and getting bigger on its own. This is called the compounding effect, where small, consistent actions lead to big, massive results. And it's the same thing when it comes to your finances. A common mistake that people make is that they believe investing will solve all of their problems. But in reality, investing is only effective if you already have a lot of money. Let me explain. Let's say you have $10,000 to invest. Assuming an annual rate of return of about 8% per year, which is a very reasonable assumption using a passive investing strategy, in 30 years, this would only grow to about $100,000, which means it grew by $90,000, which is not too bad. But if you invest $100,000, assuming the same rate of return, in 30 years, this would grow to $1 million, which means that it grew by over $900,000. How does this happen? Well, if you're investing $100,000, in the first year, you're only making an $8,000 return. But if you reinvest this amount, in year 2, you're investing $108,000, which means the return that you get will be $8,064. And if you continue to do this, by year 30, your investments will grow by over $74,000 in just 1 year. This is the power of compounding. Remember, it's not about working harder. It's about making your money work harder for you. And this is why it's so important for you to be investing your money early, so that you can use the compounding effect to your advantage. But another thing to note is that the compounding effect can actually work against you. For example, if you invest your money with a financial advisor, you're paying about a 2.5% management fee. And although 2.5% may not seem like a lot in the short term, in the long run, this is hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is why it's so important for you to learn how to invest your own money. Because obviously, you want to keep more of your hard-earned money. And if you want to learn how to invest your own money, but you just don't know where to start, apply to get a free financial audit with me. To apply, just go to the link in the description below. The second strategy to explode your net worth in Canada is probably a strategy that you've never heard of before. You see, while passive investing is a great investing strategy where you're able to get about a 7 to 8% rate of return per year, there's another investing strategy that I've personally been implementing where you can actually get a 20 to 40% rate of return per year. And it's called stock options trading. And here's how it works. Stock options trading is an advanced investing strategy where you go into a contract to either buy or sell 100 shares of one stock. And in return for doing this, you receive a commission. For example, let's say in January 2025, Apple's share price is currently $200. We can go into a stock options trading contract to buy 100 shares of Apple only if the price drops to $180 per share by February 1st. And in return for going into this contract, we receive a $200 commission. This is known as selling a put option. And so on February 1st, two things can happen. Scenario A is that Apple share price is more than $180 per share. And so in this case, nothing happens and we still receive our $200 commission. Scenario B is that Apple share price actually drops to lower than $180 per share. And in this case, we would have to buy 100 shares of Apple at $180 per share. And we receive the $200 commission. And so let's say scenario B happens and we buy 100 shares of Apple at $180 per share. We would have to buy $18,000 worth of Apple shares. Well, now that we own 100 shares of Apple, we can actually enter into another stock options trading contract. But instead of buying 100 shares of Apple, we can actually sell 100 shares of Apple. This is known as selling a call option. And so let's say a few weeks go by and Apple's share price actually recovers back to $200 per share. Now we can enter into another contract to sell 100 shares of Apple only if Apple's share price increases to $220 per share. And in return, we receive another $200 commission. And so once again, on March 1st, two things can happen. Scenario A is that Apple's share price is less than $220 per share. And so in this case, nothing would happen, and we receive a $200 commission. In scenario B, Apple's share price is more than $220 per share. And so in this case, we would have to sell 100 shares of Apple at $220, and we receive a $200 commission. And so in just a few months, we made $4,400. And the best part is, you can just keep repeating this process over and over again. And on average, if you implement the strategy the right way, you can get about a 2 to 4% return per month, or 20 to 40% return per year. Now, keep in mind, there are some limitations to this strategy. The first being your skill level. You see, investing is a skill just like swimming. A beginner swimmer might be only to swim 1 lap in 10 minutes, while a professional swimmer could swim 100 laps in 10 minutes. You see, a beginner gets beginner results, and an expert gets expert results. And it's the same thing when it comes to investing. Passive investing is a great strategy, but it's a beginner strategy where you can get about a 7 to 8% rate of return per year on just 1 to 2 hours per month. So it's very low time and low effort. And for most people, passive investing is a really great strategy. While stock options is a more advanced investing strategy where you can get about a 2 to 4% return per month, but it requires a lot more time and effort to implement the strategy. Secondly, stock options trading is a very advanced investing strategy where, yes, you have the potential to make a lot of money, but you also have the potential to lose a lot of money. If you go into a bad stock options trading contract, you're not just losing a few $100. You're losing thousands of dollars. I personally spent over $10,000 to hire an investing coach to teach me a stock options trading strategy because I didn't want to risk losing a lot of money. But this investment was totally worth it because now I'm able to generate between $1,000 to $2,000 every single month from my stock investment portfolio. And so remember that risk is relative based on your skill level. And investing is only risky when you don't know what you're doing. The third limitation to the strategy is that you actually need a lot of capital or money to implement this strategy. As you can see, Apple's share price is currently about $200 per share. And so to go into just one stock options contract, you would need to have at least $20,000. And this is $20,000 USD, which is like, $30,000 Canadian by now. You also can't implement a stock options trading contract within a registered account like a TFSA or an RSP. So it has to be in a non-registered account. And so I only recommend this strategy for my clients who have over $50,000 of money to invest outside of a registered account. And this is why having a $100,000 net worth can exponentially grow your wealth, because now you have access to higher level investing strategies that you can use to grow your wealth. And if you want to learn more about this investing strategy, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to make a specific video about this investing strategy. The last strategy to exponentially grow your net worth in Canada has created the greatest number of self-made millionaires. According to Statistics Canada, the median net worth in Canada increased by approximately 139% between 2005 and 2023. And one of the main reasons for this growth was the rapidly increasing prices of real estate. You see, real estate can be a very great asset to invest in because you're able to build wealth in 3 main ways. The first way is through the appreciation of the property value. Over the past decade, the average single home price more than doubled, with an average increase of 87% between 2013 and 2023. The second benefit of investing in real estate is that if you rent out your property, you can create an additional source of income that you can now use to save and invest even more money. And lastly, real estate has a lot of tax advantages. For example, the principal residency exemption is where you can sell your primary residence without triggering any capital gains. Also, if your property is used to generate income, you can actually deduct a portion of your mortgage interest to reduce your taxes. But the biggest obstacle that young professionals make when trying to invest in real estate is the large upfront investment required to buy a property. Typically, you need about a 10 to 20% of the property value for the initial down payment. And as of September 2024, the national average home price in Canada was about $640,000. This means you would need a minimum down payment of at least $60,000 to $130,000. And so if you have a net worth of over $100,000, this can exponentially grow your wealth because now you have the opportunity to invest in real estate where you can take advantage of the appreciation, cash flow, and tax advantages that this asset class offers. And so there you have it. These are the 3 ways to exponentially grow your net worth in Canada after you hit $100,000. Number 1, investing your own money using a passive investing strategy so that you can leverage the power of compounding interest to make your money work harder for you. Number 2, using a stock options trading strategy to potentially earn 20 to 40% return per year if you have the right strategy and skills. And lastly, investing in real estate. Build long-term wealth through the appreciation, cash flow, and tax advantages of this asset class. The truth is, hitting your first $100,000 is just the beginning. What really matters is how you use this money to create even more wealth. And if you'd like my help to do this, apply to get a free financial audit with me. To apply, just go to the link in the description below. Now, one of the most common questions I get is, Michael, am I financially behind? And so if you're wondering the same thing, make sure to watch this video right over here, where I share the average net worth in Canada by age and how you can tell whether you're financially behind, on track, or ahead. See you in the next one.